What a crazy week it's been for GGPI Polestar, as the countdown to the merger is in full flow ahead of next week. After what feels like an eternity, we will finally get to see this stock trading as PSNY instead of GGPI very soon. Now, there is a lot of opinions on whether this stock will move up or move down post-merger, and in this video I will look at some valuation metrics to see whether Polestar is really deserving of its $20 billion valuation during this market crash. And I look at what it would mean if this stock was to drop down to $5 or go up to $20. And I compare Polestar to its main rivals in the EV sector. Overall, what do you think will happen next week? Check out my analysis and let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. But first things first, let's look at some juicy Polestar news that broke over the past few days. Before we get into it, this video has taken a lot of time to prepare this weekend. So if you enjoy this or find value in this video, then help me grow this channel by smashing the like button and dropping a comment. Show your support and help make this my best video ever. I'm aiming for at least 400 likes on this video. Help me make that happen. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Now let's get into it with the very latest news from Polestar. What a week for GGPI stock. The share price soared 13.24% on Friday ahead of the final vote for the business combination with the Swedish EV maker Polestar on June 22nd. This completely erased the drop that the stock had taken on Thursday. The question on the lips of every GGPI investor over the past few months has been, when is GGPI merging with Polestar? And this has been answered in recent weeks. Gores Guggenheim will hold a special meeting of stockholders to vote on the business combination agreement on June 22nd, and the merger process will be concluded in the first half of the year as previously promised. When the deal goes through, this will provide Polestar with cash proceeds of over $1 billion, including $800 million from the SPAC and $250 million from institutional investors through a private investment in public equity, otherwise known as a PIPE. Another major question from investors is, will GGPI stock go up or down after the Polestar merger? And I will look at this in just a moment. But it has been a very big week all around for Polestar, with the Polestar 2 named New Car of the Year 2022, Most Loved Car, and Best Premium EV by Auto Trader. While Eco Car magazine has voted the Polestar 2 its Best Electric Compact Executive Car during its 2022 Electrified Top 50 Awards. And then yesterday, CEO Thomas Ingenlath shows us the first images of Apple CarPlay, which was announced last month and is in the final testing stage and due to be released in the spring. As well as this news, the Polestar 5 GT prototype is to make its debut at the 2022 Goodwood Festival of Speed. The electric performance Polestar 5 GT will bear a revolutionary and futuristic design, mainly drawing inspiration from the 2020 Precept concept. Part of the design will be the sloping roofline and the usual Polestar light bar at the rear. But for me, the most important update of the week came on Wednesday just before the share price plummeted on Thursday, where Polestar announced over 32,000 orders in 2022, which is a 290% increase versus the same period of 2021. The head of global sales at Polestar says the company's order intake is at record levels and currently represents an annualized run rate of over 75,000 vehicles. So this is huge. 75,000 is far ahead of Polestar's 2022 production estimates of 50,000. With Polestar estimated 2021 deliveries of 29,000, the company easily achieved this, and the target of 50,000 was going to represent a 79% year-over-year increase. However, if the company continues this level of demand and they're able to produce and meet the demand, then this potential 75,000 vehicles would represent a year-over-year increase of 159% from the 29,000 vehicles in 2021. And Polestar envisions producing 160,000 units a year for the Polestar 3 and 4. Much of that output will be going to Europe and the US, where crossovers and SUVs accounted for nearly half and more than half of new vehicle sales respectively in 2021. Polestar expects to sell 24,000 units of the mid-size crossover globally next year, increasing that to 67,000 in 2024 and 77,000 in 2025. Whereas the Polestar 4 should arrive in Europe and the US in 2024, Polestar expects to sell 43,000 of this model in 24 and 79,000 the following year. And these sales, along with that of the Polestar 2, are key to Polestar's ambition to grow its global sales tenfold to 290,000 vehicles by 2025. And in my opinion, this figure of 290,000 annual sales by 2025 is very low and modest. Looking at the global EV trend over the past 12 to 24 months especially would suggest that the overall EV market is going to grow significantly in the very near future. And considering worldwide tensions at the minute between Russia and the rest of the world, which has led to sanctions that has helped to drive fuel costs to new all-time highs, as well as countries all over the world beginning to phase out traditional internal combustion or ICE vehicles over the next 8 years, I see the demand for electric vehicles soaring far beyond the current level in the very near future. Using Tesla as an example, we can clearly see the massive shift in demand for electric vehicles recently, with Tesla having averaged 20 to 40,000 vehicles per month in 2021 and 2020. They have now recorded sales of over 100,000 per month for the first 3 months of the year. In fact, 2021 was Tesla's best year to date with sales of just over 300,000 vehicles, but by the end of March this year, they have already eclipsed that year's total sales. That's more than 1 year's sales in just 3 months. And with the likes of Norway leading the way towards the shift, where 9 in 10 cars now being sold in Norway are electric or hybrid, this is a country that is a significant player in the oil and gas industry. Norway is the third largest exporter of natural gas in the world, behind Russia and Qatar only. In recent years, Norway has supplied between 20 to 25% of the EU and UK gas demand. But while Norway is a major exporter of fossil fuels, their plans are for all new cars to be emission-free by 2025. Guys, if you appreciate this type of content and if you're enjoying the video, then please smash the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any stock ideas or any thoughts about any of the stocks that I cover on this channel, then I would love to hear your thoughts. Now, something that I'm very conscious of when it comes to GGPI stock is the $20 billion valuation that was put on this company when the merger agreement was signed and first announced. For example, although this merger is taking place next week, it was agreed upon all the way back in September 2021. And as we know, in that time the stock market has taken a massive drop and stocks in the EV sector in general have seen huge declines in share prices. And this is very important. More and more people seem to think that GGPI stock will crash after the merger is completed once the NAV is no longer there to stop this going below $10. I have seen some comments suggesting that Polestar will drop to a price as low as $5, but I do not see this happening. So first of all, at the moment, Polestar is looking at having a price to sales ratio of about 8, which for the EV sector is pretty good. But for comparisons, Tesla is trading at 11.85 right now, and this is after dropping almost 50% of its value in the past few months. Lucid is trading at a ratio of 326, so really and truly Polestar is far below the average. I have made this spreadsheet using the estimated figures taken from the updated Polestar investors presentation from last month. However, as we know, this figure is based upon sales for 2022 of 50,000. And as we know from just a moment ago, if Polestar continues sales at a rate that we have seen so far this year, they could eventually end up with sales of approximately 75,000 for the full year. And this is where the argument for the share price dropping to $5 falls apart, in my opinion. At $5, Polestar would be valued at only $10 billion. Revenue would likely increase to about $3.75 billion due to the extra sales, and the price to sales ratio would drop as low as 2.67, which is ridiculously low. And this low valuation would also give us a future PS ratio of just 0.57 for 2025. But I know what you were thinking. All EV stocks have fallen since this merger was announced. So will Polestar fall too once the NAV is gone? So let's look at this on September 27th, 2021. Guys, if you've made it this far into the video, then please hit the like button. A lot of effort went into making this and it really helps the channel, and your likes really help the channel. When videos don't get likes, YouTube assumes people don't like the content, the algorithm doesn't push the video, and therefore nobody gets to see it. This leads to me thinking that nobody is interested in this topic and I stop making these videos. So if this is content that you like, then smash that like button. Send the signal to the YouTube algorithm that this is worth watching and let me know to keep making more videos on this. Anyways, on September 27th, 2021, Tesla was $780, now it has dropped 17% to $650. Lucid was trading at 26 and has now dropped to 16, that's 38%. NIO has dropped 44% to $20, while XPeng has dropped 22% to just $28. By the way, I'm using these as the examples because these are the EVs that Polestar considers to be their peers, and rightly so. Now, although all of these stocks have dropped, just look at the market caps of each of these. Tesla, $673 billion. Lucid, $28 billion. NIO, $32 billion. XPeng and Rivian, both $24 billion. So in terms of the level that these companies are at, their sales number, their global presence, and their overall position in the global market, I would say that Polestar should be placed second only to Tesla here. Whereas at the moment, Polestar is valued as the lowest of any of these, despite the fact that the likes of Rivian and Lucid have achieved minimal sales so far. But of course this does come with risks. First of all, we do not have financial statements for Polestar until they are a public company. So we do not know what their balance sheet is like or what the net profit or loss looks like right now. We also don't know how long this market crash will go on for and how much the entire EV sector will be affected. What we do know though is that when major companies like Hertz, for example, are looking for a fleet of EVs, the EV companies that they come to are Tesla and Polestar, with Polestar recently beginning deliveries on the second largest EV order ever. But what do you think? Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think will happen with Polestar next week. Will GGPI stock go up or down? Or even better yet, will PSNY stock go up or down? If you've watched all the way through this video, then please hit that like button. A lot of effort went into making this, and it really helps the channel out a lot. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is my opinion and not financial advice. I hope you found value in this video, but always do your own research. If you're new, hit the subscribe button and bell notification. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you in the next one.